Jennifer Pilcher is the CEO of Patriot Boot Camp, a nonprofit organization that supports veterans and military spouses. Jen is also the creator of Mil Spouse Fest, the largest series of events for military spouses held across the country.
Now we're here at Capital One, right here in Tysons Corner, Virginia. You're here for the Bravo Conference. What brings you here?
I'm here today as a military spouse entrepreneur. I started my own company called Military One Click back in 2012, and there were hardly any resources available for veteran entrepreneurs, but there were almost none available for military spouse entrepreneurs. So I learned about an organization actually called Patriot Boot Camp that helped people start and grow their business. So I attended that, and that is really an organization that helped me learn how to start and grow my business. And similar to here today at Capital One, having people meet with subject matter experts, listening to incredible speakers like Dakota Meyer today, really helps you as especially early stage entrepreneur learn how to do this better.
So let me get this straight. In a span of 7 years, essentially, you went from Military One Click, you volunteered at Patriot Boot Camp, and now your role at Patriot Boot Camp is what?
CEO.
You're the CEO in less than seven years.
Yeah.
So obviously there was an entrepreneurial spirit about you, and there's a certain drive. So what catapulted you to be the CEO of Patriot Boot Camp? How would you classify that transition?
I think I would not be able to fulfill the CEO role if I hadn't really went through all the ups and downs of my own business. I think when you're going through really hard times in your own business, which we all do, you can't really see why and what's next and why you're going through that. But I think now looking back, all those experiences, learning experiences, are now helping me as the CEO and to help other military spouse and veteran entrepreneurs, hopefully not to make the same mistakes, but if they do, to help them guide it. So I really think the experience I had real world of building my company and having it acquired has helped better equip me for the CEO position at Patriot Boot Camp.
And what do you think about the opportunities now? What have you seen in the last 7 years for opportunities for spouses and their opportunities now compared to when you come in? It seems almost exponential in growth.
It is. So when I first started back in 2012, like I said, I knew maybe a handful of other military spouse entrepreneurs. Going to Patriot Boot Camp, there was about 4 of us out of the total 50 cohort. Now we have the program coming up in Utah, and we're right at 40% females. Some of them are female veterans, but there's also female military spouses. So the numbers have dramatically increased for military spouse entrepreneurs, and we were here today at Capital One talking about why is that. And I think it's really interesting that looking at why a military spouse becomes an entrepreneur is sometimes very different than a veteran's reason for doing it. For me personally, I was a speech language pathologist, and it required licensure for every state we moved to. And we were on about our 4th PCS, and every time you have to apply, you have to wait. So I also saw a need in the military community for this all-in-one type resource. So it was really out of necessity for a job. So I decided to create my own, and then I made it remote so I could take it wherever we moved. And the funny story is we haven't moved since. So it just was that journey of learning and being part of all the ups and downs of business ownership that now I can apply those lessons to Patriot Boot Camp. And here I am, this full circle in life, which is really neat. And Taylor McLemore, the founder of Patriot Boot Camp, is still very much involved in the organization, and I just feel truly blessed that I'm in this position now to help.
So today on the panel, what did you discuss, and what did you come away with? Any takeaways from the conference today?
Yeah, so we just had a great panel. Megan Ogilvie from Dog Tag Bakery and Liz O'Brien from Hiring Our Heroes. And we were up there really talking about, for all of us, how important mentorship has been to each of us with growing our companies. And Danielle, she was a veteran and a military spouse. How mentorship really helps shape our companies and how important it is to find that. And through Patriot Boot Camp, we set you up one-on-one with a mentor, and you might not click with all of them, but the ones that you do are really the ones that I think really help and shape you. And then all of us have really hired. And ironically, we all hired military spouses. And something about that must be intuitive, because we never called each other to find out who we should hire and hire military spouses. I think they're in your network and your community, and you know they had an expertise, either currently or previous work being a military spouse. The nice part is they're usually available for more virtual, remote work. They don't need the health benefits, so they're great for a 1099. So I really built the team up at Military One Click with military spouses who were literally stationed around the world. So we talked a lot about that on the panel, is how important mentorship has been to all of us, and how building up your team by using other military spouses or veterans to pay as part of your employees or 1099.
You've mentioned Patriot Boot Camp a couple of times. Can you tell us a little bit about PBC? Where can we find it? Who's eligible for it? What's it all about?
Yeah, so it's patriotbootcamp.org. We are a 501c3 independent nonprofit. We operate technically out of Boulder, Colorado, but we have a small and mighty team that is stationed also actually around the world. We have a military spouse who works with us in Berlin, Germany. And what the program does is it takes early stage entrepreneurs, very early, 1 to 2 years, even ideation, and bring them to a certain area, location of the country. It always changes. We're being hosted by MX out in Lehi, Utah. And we bring in 21 speakers from around the country that volunteer their time and expertise. We bring in 43 mentors who, a lot of them are repeat mentors, and they could be from large companies like founders of SendGrid and Twilio and these amazing tech companies, as well as attorneys. Some of them are veterans themselves who've become attorneys, who own their own practice. They come and volunteer and give you that one-on-one mentorship time. So we have, over the course of the weekend, our entrepreneurs are able to meet with 8 different mentors that they pick for 20-minute sessions. And then we also throw some fun activity in there, and I think we're headed out for axe throwing, team building. And it's just neat. And we were talking about this on the panel too here today, how important it is to meet your community of peers. The military thread through Patriot Boot Camp is you have to be either a veteran, mil spouse, active duty member, caregiver. So that's what connects us all through Patriot Boot Camp. But once you get there, it's like a level playing field for being an entrepreneur. You know, you're going to learn how to be an entrepreneur first, and it's your service and military background or connection that is really just what brings us there.
So for those veterans that are hard charging, that's, you know, they're focused on mission, they're focused on setting up the company, the spouses out there that's trying to manage the home, manage your business. You just went through that laundry list of activity out there, but how do you convince them to, 1, take a look at your website, 2, apply and make time to apply? What would you say?
Yeah, so I think it is a difficult decision, and it is really hard, I think, as entrepreneurs to invest in ourselves first, especially probably military. It's, you know, you're always, as a veteran, serving others. So I think you've got to really think that this is an investment in yourself and your company. They do have to pay their own travel and hotel. We take care of everything else, but so there is an investment side of it. There's a commitment, and it's hard, and we acknowledge that when they get there, but then we also say, like, you're here, you made the commitment, now put on the out of office up and really be here and be present.
Wow, that's amazing. So hopefully 5 years from now, we'll have a conversation we can look back and say, wow, look at what you've done.
Yeah. Well, it's a team effort. I'm very fortunate. Sherry Rice has been the heart and soul of our program. She's been there since day one. Taylor, our founder, we have a great board. And then I just stole back 2 of my best people from my former company to come work at Patriot Boot Camp. So we're a small but mighty team. And we're thrilled to have veterans just like you coming out to the program and keep growing it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of Veterans in Transition. We ask that you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Remember, we all have a story to tell. Until next time.